Once you have identified an invoice for which use tax needs to be paid, we are going to start by calculating the use tax amount. The total for this invoice is $66.96. We are going to use Michigan's rate, which is 6%, and so the total use tax is $4.02. Be sure to write the GL account number on the invoice as well as the use tax amount before submitting it into the AP web system. Once you have submitted it, we are going to need to use 3 separate GL account lines. First, we are going to distribute the full invoice amount to the appropriate account number. In this case, it's $625. Then we are going to enter the use tax amount into the same GL account number as before. So we have the 402 going to 625. Then we want to enter the use tax amount as a negative number and enter it into our use tax payable account. For Michigan, the account is 2380. Let's try doing this from the beginning. We're going to use this Happy Chef invoice. Again, we'll be using the Michigan rate. The total on this invoice is $80.65, so the use tax is $4.84. We want to make sure that we include shipping and handling with the total amount that we are figuring out the tax on, because shipping and handling are taxable. And as you can see, this is going to be going to $740. I'm going to go ahead and add this invoice. So first we're going to put the total amount into $740. And then we're going to click on this blue button underneath the actions to assign more GL accounts. So we want to put our use tax amount into the same account as before. So 484 is going to 740. And then we want to add the negative amount into our use tax payable account. Okay, so we are all set for that. Now, to enter these amounts onto your weekly MCR and your weekly worksheet, we're going to first run our vendor summary. As you can see, there is no use tax line. So we will have to fix that. Copy, paste that into our MCR. Next, we're going to run the account summary report. I'm going to export that as well. Okay, now as you can see here, the account summary will actually give you your use tax payable account. For this week, we are using we have 2 different invoices that have use tax, so you won't be able to tell what your use tax amount is until you run this account summary report. So I'm going to go ahead and now enter these numbers into our MCR, our weekly worksheet. As you can see, my totals here don't balance, and that's because our vendor summary report did not include the use tax, so we need to add that amount here. You want to be sure to add this amount as a positive number. And now you can see that my totals balance. If you have any further questions, please call the home office to contact your accounting contact.